Good morning! Well, here it is. It's our final assignment. Wow, what a journey it's been. And I have to tell you, it's amazing how we've been able to get through all this. And I think a lot of you have done very, very well. Not easy to do during this time of COVID. Um, think about it. When we first started in January, it was cold. And then in February, Mother Nature dumped 26 inches of snow on us. And yet here it is, the final video, the final assignment, and it's going to be 84 degrees out. Wow, what a big difference. And I think a lot of you have come through very well, okay? I've been going over your absence of malice papers. You all have them back now, and I think you all did very well in analyzing the film and applying, the codes of ethics and what kind of law and that Mike could use if he were to sue. And then, of course, who's to blame for the Teresa-prone suicide? It's not easy. But even just answering the question about whether the reporter, Megan Carter, was within her ethical boundaries or not, it's not even that easy, because when you think about it, one of the things we didn't get a chance to go over was the case of Richard Jewell. Richard Jewell, of course, for those who don't know, you can look it up. Very easy to find, that's for sure. He was the guy who ended up being the hero of the 1996 Olympic bombing in Atlanta. And he was the hero immediately, and then all of a sudden the tables turned and he was looked at as the villain. Maybe he was the bomber, and he set it up to make himself look like he planted the bomb knowing it was going to blow up, and then came in and rescued everybody to make himself look good. And he went under such scrutiny, unbelievable scrutiny, because a lot of reporters did not practice proper ethics, seeking truth and reporting it, or that kind of thing, or especially respect for privacy. It was an unbelievable scene. And of course, 2 years ago, Clint Eastwood made a movie about Richard Jewell's life, and not his life, but the situation that happened in Atlanta. Pretty crazy situation. But the interesting part, as it relates to what I was just speaking about with Megan Carter, is he sued a lot of people. He sued a lot of news agencies. And he got settlements from NBC News. He got a settlement, I think, from the Associated Press. I think the New York Times he got a settlement for. But one newspaper did not have to settle. And after 16 or 17 years, a court finally found in their favor, and that was the hometown paper, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And here's the reason why. Is the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, although had printed that he was the chief suspect in the bombing, they never actually said he did it. What they said, he was the chief suspect, which, for all intents and purposes, was true, because the FBI had leaked that he was now their number one guy they were looking at in the bombing. Which they should have never done, because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. They didn't know who the hell had done the bombing. Just because some idiot says, he's a fat guy, so he might have done it. And that's what they basically went by. He's a loser, lives with his mother. I bet you he did it. And that's basically what they went by. And somebody leaked it to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, which, of course, made front page news. And then once the Atlanta Journal-Constitution put it on the front page, one of the things you have to remember, Nothing is more covered by media than the Olympic Games. Every 4 years, or every 2 years if you count the winter, but every 4 years with the Summer Games, you've got media from every single country on the planet. And America, of course, even if the Olympics are in Malaysia, or in Turkey, or someplace really far away, we're sending hundreds, if not thousands, of media to go cover it. So imagine what was happening if you go to YouTube and there's a New York Times 10-minute video. You see the kind of media coverage that this garnered here. Because when the story broke that he was now a chief suspect, Richard Jewell, the games were still going on. So you've got tens of thousands of media converging on this guy's garden apartment he shared with his mother. It was insane. Okay? But yet, the Atlantic Journal-Constitution was cleared of any wrongdoing. So it was a very interesting question. I personally, especially, when I looked at that assignment, at first I'm like, oh, how could you not say she was wrong ethically for putting that? But what did she actually just put in the paper that he was a suspect? She didn't say he did it, but he was suspected. This, of course, in the movie, Mike Gallagher, he was suspected of doing it, which was true. They were looking at him as not really as a suspect, but as someone who might know something. It was a pretty crazy situation. So, anyway, now to your final exam. Now, if we were in the classroom, and this is on your course outline, it's an open textbook, open notebook test. Okay? And as you see from the attachment, it's only one question. It's one question that you now apply to 4 chapters. Now, you pick which 4 chapters among the list that you want to answer, that you want to apply that question to. But the bottom line is that we've talked about this since the first day of class, is that things are always constantly changing. And probably more so during COVID than anything else. I mean, I'll give you a great example. Let's look at Sunday night. People in 1977. Now, I know that's a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago. The Academy Awards had over 58 million viewers. Even just 3-4 years ago, it had 29 to 30 million viewers. This past Sunday night, it had 9.8 million viewers. Things are changing. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, movies, which you give Academy Awards to, are just not the movies in theaters anymore. Okay? Many of the movies that were up for Academy Awards never even saw theater. But what's more, really didn't make a lot of money. I was shocked because I had seen Neverland, but I saw it on Hulu, the movie that won Best Picture. It only made $2.5 million. Do you know for Fast and the Furious, they spend more than $2.5 million on the catering service for the cast and crew? So it boggles my mind what has happened and what is going on throughout all of mass media. So you have our lectures, you have the things we discussed, you have what's in the textbook. You go to the textbook, you select the 4 chapters that you want to, and then you tell me. Now, these have to be detailed paragraphs, your answers to these questions. And you need to have your final exam complete and hand it to me by Thursday, May 6th at 8 p.m. Now, take your time. This is typically a handwritten exam. By the way, if you look at the exam sheet, it says, please write legibly. That's only because this is, I'm using the same sheet as if we were in the classroom. Of course, you'll be typing it out, so you don't have to worry about that. But take your time. If we were in the classroom, this would take up 2 full class periods. Take your time, look in your textbook, look back on your notes from this class, things that we discussed, things that we talked about, things that you've even seen or heard or read about the changes that have been going on. And then you apply that question to those 4 chapters and just get it to me in the next 8 days. All right? It's been a wonderful ride, people. And I hope you all enjoyed it. It's always a good class, the mass media class, especially now as things are changing more than ever. And I look forward to reading your final exams. By the way, you're scheduled to have 8 quizzes. We didn't get exactly to 8 quizzes. So whatever quizzes we didn't get to, everyone will get the maximum 20 points for the quizzes that we missed. All right? All right, take care, y'all, and good luck on your final exams.